reading through Psalms 25, and it's talking about dependence on the Lord, okay? And this really cool thing happened. So, I'm sitting in here with my daughter, and she's filling her backpack full of toys to the brim. And I'm like, and then she gets mad. So, she's mad because it won't zip. And so I say, Kim, you have to take some stuff out for it to close and zip. And she's like, no. And she's getting so frustrated because she's 3 and she has these big feelings that she doesn't understand why it won't zip. And so I am just kind of sitting here and I'm kind of annoyed because she's disrupting my reading, okay? But I'm like, Kimmy, you need to just unzip it and then it will go in there. And then so she's like yelling at me. And so I just like take a second and I feel God say, like, I want you to recognize that this is similar to how it feels whenever you try to do things your own way and you don't tune into the plans that I have for you. And it kind of hit me hard because I'm like, wow, how many times have I screamed and yelled and I'm like, no, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. And then it takes me all around and then I get nowhere and then I come running back to God and then it all works out just fine. And so it's kind of funny for me to put that in perspective. And it's also funny because Psalm 25 is talking about dependence on the Lord. And so I don't think that was by coincidence. That was the verse I was reading, the verse that clicked in my head. Like, when you're not dependent on me and you're acting, differently than this 2 or 3-year-old is throwing a tantrum, but kind of in the same way. Like, you're doing what you want to do, even though I know the best way for you to do something, and you just don't take the time to depend and trust in me, and you try to do things your own way, and then you just end up running in circles and it's not fulfilling, or you feel back in depression or anxiety because it's not what I have called for you. And so yeah, Psalm 25 is talking about dependence on God. And it's my God, I'll trust in you. Do not let my enemies gloat over me. And then it goes on. Make your ways known to me, Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are God of my salvation. And then we go on to verse 8, where it talks about the Lord is good and upright. Therefore he shows sinners the way. He leads the humble in what is right and teaches them the way. It's a really good chapter. Totally recommend. Recommend anything in the Bible. But it was just kind of interesting that I was reading through that and the scenarios playing out with my daughter. And then I'm like gently reminded, like, yeah, to just come to God and ask, because he is patient. He is gracious. He is loving. He doesn't give up on you. He doesn't want you to go through these extremely hard things, but our own like free will gets in the way a lot of the time. And so yielding and like giving the things that you are struggling with to God will lead you to the right path and lead you to patience and grace and loving and kindness that God provides. And God will still be with you in those moments. You just may not be seeking him. And if we're not like actively seeking him, we can't know him. So therefore we can't follow him, and we can't know the goodness and the uprightness, and he can't show us the way if we're not actively seeking him. That means like getting in prayer every day, trying to sit and listen every day for thoughts from God, and using the Acts prayer method. And if you don't know about that, you can totally Google it. But I also created a journal to help you walk through the Acts prayer method. And yeah, so you can buy that on the link on Amazon. I guess I'll link it below for anybody that wants it. But this is not a promo. I'm just saying that God like showed me this lesson this morning, and I thought it was so interesting that it correlated with the chapter I was reading and everything. But yeah, I need to make sure that I'm taking time to seek God and make sure that my heart is in the place that it needs to be in to do the things that he's calling me to do, because he will guide me and he will lead the way for me, because I am a sinner, and he will provide all of my needs. But I have to be seeking him, and I have to listen to him, because as my toddler wasn't listening to me, yeah, it's the same thing that I kind of do to God sometimes. Life gets chaotic and I'm busy, and then I don't take the time to like sit and pray and listen. And that's when I end up back into the same old habits. So that's just such an incredible message that was placed in my heart, and I had to like record and share with you. I know I look a mess, but I don't even care. So I hope that this message bless you. I hope that it encourages you to move forward and to spend more time with the Lord. Bye, friends.